Hey, it is great to have you along again on this Saturday. I'm meteorologist Andy Parker, keeping an eye on the sky for you as we are following the lake effect snow band that continues to plug away, blasting Buffalo all the way into Batavia. You can see some sections of this storm reaching Rochester. We're going to do a few things today. We're going to show you where it is now. We're going to show you where it's going and what it's like to be inside that snow band. And all importantly, what's it going to do tonight out in Orchard Park? Even if you're not going to the game, you might have some concern about what it's going to look like on your TVs. This is what the view is right now as we check on Doppler. We're going to look at a couple of different locations. Let's go to the North Town. Some folks that have had some snow up there. The Tonawanda is enough to cover the grass. It looks like it's up to about the 90 right now. It's going to stay in that same general area for a while. Let's go to downtown Buffalo and give you a peek at where this is in the city, right through the core. And then we find this out in Cheektowaga, Depew. The South Towns are there as well. The border right over by the stadium. That's where it is right now. I want to give you an idea of what this thing looks like as we get going. By the way, if you've just joined us, hit the like button and share this thing. We want to broadcast to as many folks as we can, and we do that by you helping us. Go ahead and hit the share button. We'll help you by answering your questions. Anything you want to ask about the storm today or tomorrow, go ahead and do it. But please do that for us. We can see all the comments coming in. I've got Mike, Cam, and Catalan lined up here, and we're going to take care of that. Look at what it looks like. This is the view if you're driving in this stuff. It is not pleasant. Let me bring that full screen so you can take a peek at it there. And inside this snow band, it's coming down at a rate of about an inch an hour. It's not blinding, but it will slow you down without a doubt. A number of spin-outs occurring across the area, and that's going to be the case within this snow band pretty much right through the afternoon and evening hours. It's going to remain in that spot. This is the 90 where you exit off onto Ridge Road. And look at the side, the exit ramp here. Extremely treacherous as we're keeping an eye on untreated roads. That's where you're going to find the biggest problem. A lot of folks are talking about this, saying that the roads in their area are pretty messy, and that's going to be the case on the way to the Bills game, especially if you're heading in the next few minutes. All right, we're going to bring a bunch of other people into the stream here real quick, and as we do, I want to bring in the view of downtown Buffalo. This will be an interesting one for you as we can take a peek at that. This is the camera that we've got in the city right now. And this is where some of that snow is falling. Again, not blinding, but enough to cover the side streets and keep things very uncomfortable for those who are trying to drive in it. All right, let's go ahead and take some questions. We've got good morning down there in Jamestown. We're going to bring back Doppler for you and give you an idea of where this thing is going. So here it is again. This is the live picture. Jamestown, you are not involved in the snow. We've got Mike saying it's still snowing in Cheektowaga. Absolutely, you're right in the middle of it there. Let it snow. We've got a snow fan there, and another one it says hoping that it shifts to the stadium for the game. Well, take a look at this. This is what we've got as far as the view from the air. This is a drone shot, and in the distance there, you can see the field house. That's how close the edge of this is to the stadium right now. They're hearing that the snow band is going to be over Amherst instead of the stadium tonight. Scott, it looks like that'll be the case during the first half. It could end up at the stadium right at the end. Corey in OP has some snow on the ground, and he's watching the weather as well. Thank you, Corey. Terry is in Wilson, has some sunshine up there. Yes, you do, because that snow band is nowhere close to Wilson as we pull this out. Only a few communities being affected right now. Some snow in Tonawanda this morning, but not much behind it. She used a ruler to check it out, about 4 inches in Williamsville. I think you're going to get some more. Lancaster, this is going to keep coming for you, Kathy. Roads are greasy. That is an excellent way to describe it. We talked about Jamestown, and it says, welcome Miami, says Joanne. Very peaceful snow, and that's what we're finding. It's not on the, once you've had the snow, the winds aren't incredible. It's when it's over top of you is when it gets a little messy. It's going to be in the 20s with wind chills in the teens. What are we getting at the airport? All right, let's go in and answer that question. We'll take you into downtown Buffalo, include our friends Farms in Cheektowaga. This is not an intense snow, as we mentioned, but it is enough to start covering the ground again. It stopped snowing in Fort Erie temporarily, but we're going to see more of that picking up as well. We're keeping an eye on all of this. Great to have you in the room. Hit that like button and the share button for us. That goes a long way. We'll answer all the questions you have. As long as you could do that for us, it would be awesome. If you do that, I can see the numbers. We can see the comments coming in. You put the comments in, the shares, the likes. Everybody wins. Will it be windy at the game? Let's find out. I think we're going to get 15-mile-an-hour winds, not dramatically windy, nothing like the New England game, but that's what we're looking at. When we think about Waddle, who's going to benefit from this? I hope it's not Miami, because the unthinkable is them getting out of that stadium with the snow and a W. It is not snowing in West Falls. No, it is not. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and put this on the tour, and this will bounce you around. I think we're going to the South Towns next, and it really is not snowing too much right now south of Orchard Park in East Aurora, and it's really the northern sections of Orchard Park that are getting that. We talked about the winds, and it is still snowing in West Seneca. If someone has an updated number in West Seneca, please pass that along. If you've got snow totals, type that in, send them in the comments. It's much appreciated. We know we've got about 4 inches in some of the north towns, and I think we may add a little bit more a little bit later. Thank you, Corey, for stopping by. Much appreciated. In Buffalo, didn't get much. Tell me how much Buffalo has had. That'll be an interesting number, because North Buffalo and South Buffalo are going to be different stories. 6 inches of snow in East Aurora, and it's clear out right now. Thank you, John. Sunny in Perrysburg. We know that because there's not much happening in Chautauqua County. Tomorrow is your day. We've got a Let's Go Buffalo. That didn't take too long. Speaking of that, are they clearing things out for you? Look at this. Out at the stadium, here's the video. This is how they're getting rid of the snow. Orchard Park and the stadium already had the snow. That was this morning. They're moving it out now, plowing some paths for the big prime time Bills Mafia parade that's coming in there tonight. So this is what it looks like when you're getting out there for your pregame. This is what it looked like in portions of the South Towns. 6 to 8 inches of fresh snow. That was earlier today. People in Orchard Park, East Aurora, and it looks like Blaisdell, West Seneca, all clearing that out of the way. And this is what we're keeping an eye on right now, that Doppler as it goes. I think I've got all of this. Thank you, Corey. I appreciate that. Here's an updated number, 2 to 3 inches by me. Deborah, tell me where me is. Throw a town on there, and we're happy to do it. All right, is everybody ready? This is when we take you through time and give you an idea of what's to come. I want to go back to that drone footage one more time, because that's really cool. As we see the stadium in the distance, this is how close it is to Orchard Park and where the stadium lies. So we're going to be watching that one extremely closely. Now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and bring in the next screen I'm going to show you is where we're going to keep an eye on how all of this moves over the next 48 hours. Now, I'll give a spoiler alert. If you were hoping for the big snow game where you think about Indianapolis, I think if there's a chance, it's going to be as you're getting into the stadium, and then this thing might move back to the north. Here's why I'm feeling that way. Let's go ahead and bring in the forecast, and this is the panel that is going to be of utmost importance for you here. I want to stop this. I want to go back to this. We're going to get a nice view and bring this back to where it is right now. This is who's getting hit right now. Let me widen this out a little bit, and this will answer all of your questions if you have some travel. If you're going to be driving to the stadium anytime soon, this is when it's all coming in. Hit that like and share button for me, folks. All you got to do is do one quick hit, and we'll take you through time and answer all your questions. All right, here we go. As we watch the clock on the screen, I've got this at around 3 p.m. is the start time. We're going to jog ever so slightly here and take this through dinner time. There's not much difference. It's going to stay right near the edge of the stadium at the bottom of the screen by Orchard Park in downtown Buffalo. And then it's going to start to make a jog to the north at around 9. Did you see the time there? Throughout 6 to 8. I think it's going to stay right where it is in that same time period through around 6:30, 8, right in there. What time is that on the screen? There it is, 6:30. Dinner time. Then after dinner, it begins to make that jog to the north. And you can see that brings back the Tonawondas. It weakens considerably. I don't think we're going to have a strong band up there in the Tonawondas, but that's where the snow is going to be at kickoff in the first half. Watch what happens as we approach the end of the game. Do you see that movement in there? See the movement back down as I pause it here between 9 and midnight. that's when it's going to make its move back to Orchard Park. It looks like right now that the snow band returning might end up being after the game. I don't know if that makes a lot of people happy. Put in the comments if you're disappointed or not, but it does look like this is going to remain just to the north of the stadium. If it's there, it might be there for kickoff, but I really think that this is going to be there for your pregame as you're going into the seats, and then we're going to see this move to the north, take a little jog, and then it looks like it'll come back, but it'll arrive back at the stadium either late in the fourth quarter or post-game as you're trying to go home. And going home, I think you're going to have a tougher time going home to the north than to the south as this thing starts to move back to the south. Let me widen out and give you the Southtown view, because here's where it goes during the day on Sunday. So there it is through the stadium between around 11 and midnight, and then it slides into the southern tier, and this is where it's going to live. This is your Sunday afternoon. It is going to absolutely hammer Hamburg and Eden, Angola for a while, a few hours there, and then that sinks back down into the deeper southern tier. Let me widen that picture out for you so you can get an idea of where this lives during the course of the day on Sunday. There it is, spending most of the day targeting Dunkirk from the morning into the afternoon and evening, a foot of snow for northern Chautauqua County and another taste for Erie County as well. All right, back to the comments we go. There's a ton of them in here. I want to get Dave Cash in here. There it is. Perfect hot tub weather in Amherst. You know it, David. Open it up. Get it rolling. Warsaw has green grass, but not for long, because Warsaw, you're going to end up with some of this snow as we get into tonight and tomorrow. You can see it there. Let me bring Warsaw into the picture a little bit. We're going to include them in the South Towns, and they're going to be right on the right-hand side of your screen. And I think Warsaw, the pickup time for you folks is going to be during the overnight. You've got nothing until you see that clock. There it goes into where we got right there. There it is, the Lake Snow Band coming through, and it has to reorganize. As it does, it picks up in intensity during the course of the day on Sunday. So Warsaw, you are a Sunday situation. I'm going to bring this back, the clock, to get us right in line with kind of the end of the game and game time. And we're going to go back to a different view that can give everybody an idea of, if you're driving into this thing, where is it going to be? That's going home right there. All right, let's go and take another couple of inches here. What do we have by hook? Still very little wind in Hamburg. This is not going to be a fierce, windy game. Another question here. What can we expect? When can we expect the band over East Aurora again tonight? It will arrive in East Aurora again after 11 o'clock tonight, and then I think you're going to see another shot of snow during the day on Sunday. What do we got for a nice change for us here in the hills? The hills will get the snow on Sunday. Snowing in Bennington, about 6 inches last night in Bennington. That's right. Let me put the loop back on and give you an idea of where this is going. That's probably the best thing I can do while I'm answering your questions. 2 to 3 inches, not bad. No, this was going to be a manageable storm. This was not a mega band as we talked about what happened in November. This is what we're contending with during the course of the evening hours tonight. Again, watching this, I'm going to back this up to now. That's the snow band now. It weakens, goes up into the North Towns, hits the Tonawandas during the game, and then comes back down and hits Orchard Park. I think this is probably the view that we're going to pause it on here, slide this over, and bring that through. So this on the screen is 620, and then it makes that jog to the north. Hey, thank you very much for hitting that like button. The share button is even more important than that. Let me take a sip of my drink here while I look at some of the questions. Slight break. We're going to keep going and answer anything that you have. If you have some travel, we're happy to answer that for you as well. Let's freeze the dolphins. There we go. How bad is it in OP? Squish the fish. We've got squish the frozen fish. A lot of Go Bills in there. Absolutely. Go for it. Show us the love. Awesome. Let's take a peek at here. Anybody going to the game tonight, drive safe and warm. Leave some extra time. The roads in Orchard Park aren't bad, but getting to Orchard Park, this is kind of the stuff that you're going to end up driving through. Where is it? Right in this is what they're shoveling out of the way in Orchard Park. About 6 to 8 inches of snow fell during the overnight, and they're pushing those into piles for you. This is the view in some of those snow bands. So it is coming down at a point where it's covering the roads, making for slick travel, and all it takes is one accident on the 90 to clog it up for everybody. You're gonna get to the game with the snow is not impassable, no driving bans, but it's going to be the accidents, the the fender benders that I think create a big traffic tie-up for everybody. Let's see here. Daughter in Hamburg had close to a foot. That would be the first foot out there if that's the case. Not much snow in Williamsville. When will that change? It'll be changing shortly. Tonawanda, you're going to see another shot of snow, but not much. This is only going to add a little bit more to what you've got there. 5 inches in Cheektowaga, just flurries right now. Thanks for the update. 6 to 8 inches in South Buffalo. That's what we're hearing as well. We've got very little in East Amherst, maybe an inch. That's right. So there's not a lot to measure out there in East Amherst. This is the view. How close is it to the game? Look at the drone footage. I mean, that wall of snow is just on the other side. That's the field house positioned right in the middle of your screen. And it's certainly something that is going to be in close proximity to the stadium between now and kickoff, and then it's going to jog a little bit more to the north. We've got 6 inches measured in a driveway in Depew. We appreciate you, Sally. Hit that like button and share it for us. Keep this rolling. That's what we've got to do. And it looks like the OP border near Chestnut Ridge is clear now. 10 inches there at 7 a.m. It's settled down to about 6, and the next round will put a little bit more down, but later tonight. Big flakes falling in Elma just now, and that's going to be what we're finding across a lot of these locations. Let's go back to the downtown camera and give you an idea of what this looks like in the city. The city right now, not so bad. We've got good visibility taking us all the way out to the water intake. You can see it positioned right there in the center of your screen. So it's nowhere near a whiteout. It's falling snow. You can see that the roads are the majors are clear, and even Niagara Street there in the foreground looking pretty good. So the crews were prepared for this and ready, and this is what we have as far as the positioning of this snow band. There it is right now as we watch some of the communities affected. You've got downtown Buffalo, Kenmore, and then this begins to take a jog a little closer to the stadium. It stays in this same general area until about kickoff. Then it begins to migrate a little bit further to the north. Hey, thank you for listening on to Star. It was great talking with Rob. That was a ton of fun, Kim. Appreciate that. It can go away from Hamburg. It is for a while. You're going to be okay. I think Hamburg is doing all right. What do we got here? So it says, the hype about the snow at the game is nothing. They should have played in my backyard in Lancaster. It was always a question mark as to what time it was going to get to the game. And if this jog that takes it to the north materializes to the level it does, it could miss the game entirely. I think there might be some snow showers for pregame, for the tailgaters that might be out there or getting there now. But for the game itself, it looks like it might stay just to the north. Trying to catch up with some of these, still praying for a snow game. We'll see. I like our team. Maybe Josh is better without some snow. Either way, as long as you can beat the Finns and not let them walk out of here with a cold weather win, that's what matters. Kaisertown, thanks for checking in. 8 to 9 inches there, and love the screenshot. How much is Tonawanda getting? You might get another inch or two out of this, and then we're going to call it quits. So Tonawandas are probably going to be in that 2 to 4 inch range for a total there. Could we see potential travel advisories or bans? Peter, no. This is not the intensity for the travel bans. The visibility is the thing that does that. Visibilities like this are the thing that can bring that on. But we still haven't seen anything with the intensity and the wind to cause whiteout conditions. Slow snow-covered roads, yes, but we haven't seen whiteouts at this point. What do we have here? Cleaned up and stopped snowing. Cheektowaga might get a little bit more, but again, this is not the intense snow. As we take a look at that picture in downtown Buffalo, that's the view right now. Actually, it's you can see it's beginning to come inland. We were able to see the water intake. Now that is not on the screen anymore, so we're expecting to see an increase in snow in downtown Buffalo. Judy says, finally a forecast we can understand in all areas. Happy to do it for you there. How many more inches expected in Williamsville and Amherst today? Hey, Guy, great to have you along. Guy, tap in there. Let me know what you got up there already. I think we're going to tack on maybe another 2 to 4 in the next couple of hours. And then I think by the time we get after 8 or 9 o'clock, as this makes its move to the south, then you're going to be done up there. Few inches in South Wales, but not a ton. Let's go back to the map and give you an idea of where this is and where it's going to be. Let's rock through this again. Happy to do this as many times as you need it. If you're coming into the room, we've got a ton of people in here that just walked in. Happy to answer all of your questions. Thank you very much. Make sure you hit the share button, folks. If everybody hits the like and the share right now, I'm going to take a pause and I'm going to have one quick sip of my beverage here, my pregame beverage. You guys all hit the like and share button. I'll take one gulp. Thank you so much. I needed that. All right, let's go ahead and keep this rolling here. We've got 2 to 3 inches, the Buffalo borderline from Cheektowaga. So that's a number there. I heard there were larger numbers in North Buffalo. If someone's in North Buffalo, give me a number on that. I'd love that. Marilla, we're hearing that you got some snow overnight, but it is not, you're not getting buried out there, probably about the same as Elma. The question is, when is it snow? When is it going to snow in Tonawanda? Let's answer that question for you. Watch this, watch the time on the screen that you can see. And then there you can see 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I think if Tonawanda has a shot, it's going to be right in there between 6 and 9 p.m. I think folks going to the stadium are driving through the snow band. If you're coming from the south, it's a smooth shot. Even East Aurora should be a piece of cake. 20A is looking good. And then as you move this snow band to the north, that's when it takes that northern jog, and then it starts coming back. And the time that it comes back might coincide with, it looks like it's even going to miss the fourth quarter now. This is going to be very close to the end of the game. If anything, the folks who are stuck in the parking lot driving out, you're going to drive through some of that snow getting home. Snowing all morning and still going out in Marilla. Thank you for the update there. Won't hit Olean. Olean doesn't get this. You might get some snow in Olean tomorrow. We appreciate it. Great to have you along, Arlene. Thank you so much about that. Hey, here's an Amherst total, 2 inches up by UB. You're not going to get much more than that. This is going to be a very manageable snow. It's snowing a lot in Elma. We're getting West Seneca, Elma. This is the video out of West Seneca, by the way. So this is where the 219 and the 90 come in, and then that Ridge Road exit. Look at the roads out there. This was earlier, and it has been on and off like this pretty much right through the morning. So right now, I think that's where we're going to find the heavier snow. We've got Robin says Alden is the spot that's getting the heavy snow right now. That would coincide with the location of this band right now as we kind of bring this back. And you can see that's the position of it right through the city and then on towards Alden. Speaking of this city, remember how I just showed you we had some decent visibility? Look at how that's now been reduced. Those fat flakes are flying right through the center of downtown Buffalo, and that's going to end up covering the roads. Although the temperature where it is, close to 32 degrees, anytime you put salt on this, it's going to melt that snow real quick. I want to get to some more comments here. We've got, we said the heavy snow there. What's the best time to travel the 90 from Erie tomorrow, from Erie to Buffalo tomorrow? All right, Joe, we're going to do something we haven't done yet, is take a look at Sunday. I appreciate that question. Let's go ahead and pop it on the screen. I'm going to bring this full. So we've been focusing on the game time in the evening. What I want to do is widen this out because Joe has asked something about what time would be the best time to come up from Erie. So the time on the screen, you can see it there at 8:18 p.m. The further we go into this, right in there, you can see that now the overnight, it begins to sink. So Erie, you're going to start to get the snow in the morning hours, and then this is going to really swallow up the thruway late morning. You're going to have to drive through this band at some point, whether you leave at 5, 6, 7 a.m. The longer you wait, I think the worse that drive gets, unless you can put it off until, even then, this is not a pretty day. You're driving through a foot of snow in that situation. That's in there. That's the center point. That is a tough drive on Sunday. I guess if I had some advice, I'd get up early. And even then, you're going to hit that in the dark. So it depends on if you want to drive through it during the day or in the dark, Joe. All right, there, you got to make that. I don't make that choice for you. I'll tell you the weather, but you've got to make that choice. Frank, thank you so much. I appreciate that. We're happy to do this for you. Nothing in Cuba. Nope, there you're on the map, just 2 inches in West Clarksville. But will this get you guys down there? Let's talk to the Southern Tier for a moment and show you how far this band goes inland as we kind of move through time. Here's your Sunday, and there's Sunday morning, and then this kind of, there's the push. As we get into the afternoon, southern Erie, Wyoming, south of 20A, and we'll blow some of these the snowflakes inland right through the evening hours. So later on Sunday is the time. That's the band as it sits out there right now. How much snow is Buffalo going to get on Sunday? Not much. Whatever you get today is what you're going to get in Buffalo. This should not be coming back up into the city. As we watch, you can see how this rolls down, and it might make it into the south towns tomorrow for a time, but then it's going to be squarely in the southern tier. I think if Buffalo's got a shot at getting some more, it's going to be tonight. Route 5 from Skyway to the Ford plant is not pretty right now. Again, this is kind of that view. As we look at it, you're finding all that snow shower activity. Look at the dark clouds. Downtown is about to get swallowed up into some of these flakes, and I think we're going to have tough travel on those roads in there. Everybody's wants to keep safe on the roads. Yeah, all it takes is one, and you know there's going to be one tonight. So I leave early for the game. I'm going to be doing that as well, and I'm taking my little secret route. Everybody's got their route to the stadium. I have one, and I know everybody's got their favorite to go. But the 90, it'll be interesting. Normally, when we get a storm like this, people go away from the lake effect and they stay home. Now you've got everybody going out and into it and through it. So that's going to be interesting. Will it be snowing in Rochester, Syracuse, and Binghamton tomorrow along I-81? Well, as we watch what happens here I think she said Binghamton and Syracuse. All right, we're going to do this. I haven't looked out there, but let's take a peek at it. There's Syracuse and Binghamton on the right-hand side of the screen. We're going out of market for you. It's not going to be a problem tonight, but as the wind switches direction, it doesn't look like Syracuse gets into the act during the course of the day tomorrow. So Binghamton and Syracuse, you might get a little snow riding up the I-81, but not a problem. Back to Western New York, back to your questions. Smash the like button, folks. Who wants to be number 200? Well, 197. Give me 3 more, and then give me 3 more of those shares. The shares are the big deal. When you guys like and share, I get to take a drink. Non-alcoholic. We're just drinking water tonight as we're watching this. 8 to 9 inches in Kaisertown, still snowing there. Springville has nothing, but Springville, watch what happens to you as we rewind this and watch the numbers on the screen. Overnight tonight, Paul, this gets into your backyard, and then tomorrow morning into tomorrow afternoon. That's where you're going to find the most impressive snows for Springville, and some of those areas are going to be up to a foot. Dunkirk, Silver Creek, Southern Erie, Evans, Angola, Collins, Concord, Kissing Bridge, all that stuff. I love the snow emojis. Thank you, Cheryl. West Seneca, how much will West Seneca be getting? 8 now. I think West Seneca ends up at a solid foot because you're going to be into this stuff right now. Thank you, Melissa. We appreciate you tuning in and checking it out. Make sure you hit that share button here. How much more in Cheektowaga? Well, if we watch what's happening on the Doppler right now and then get some ground truth by taking a peek at downtown Buffalo, we're getting more bursts of snow. Instead of one solid band, it's more bursty. So that doesn't really lend itself to huge accumulations, but I think we'll be able to tack a little bit more onto where you are right now. Any more snow for the university? Buffalo are in Buffalo, 2 to 3 inches. That's about right. Still coming down in Darien and Corfu. Hey, if you got a total, darling, let me know what you have out there in Corfu. 2 to 3 inches at the most, says Guy, and I think we're going to tack on just a little bit more of that, and then we're going to call you done. So I think we came in, Guy. I think we pegged you into that 3 to 6 inch window. You're in that Amherst, Williamsville, Main Street corridor, and I think that's where you're gonna end up in there. So I think we did pretty well. All right, we've got a bunch of new comments in here. How to go from Cheektowaga to Elma at 9 p.m. tonight. Cheektowaga to Elma, you're going to end up at 9 p.m. It'll probably be north of you. So I think you're going to do pretty good. And I don't think anybody's going to be on the road at 9 o'clock tonight. So I think you're looking pretty good there. What about South Lockport in Niagara County? Glad you asked. Back to the stream we go. This is when I think if Lockport's going to get another shot at a piece of snow, it's right in here between that 9 and maybe 8 and 10. And even then, let me go to the North Towns. Look how close this is. Lockport, you're not shoveling. This is not a huge hit. It's a glancing blow, enough to put some flakes, maybe cover the ground, and then it's out, and it's back over towards the stadium. I'm going to put the Southtowns on the map. We're going to bring this through. And again, if you're just tuning in and you want to know something about the stadium, I'm going to try to answer those questions right now. Thank you for the likes and shares. Put us up over the 200 mark. Let's keep it rolling. Here's where we go. This is that lake snow band on the screen, and I've got too much nothing there. Let's bring it right here. There it is. And this is going to, hopefully, I'm going to bring this as full as possible so y'all can see it at home. Watch as we fill your screens with this. Brenda, I'm going to take your name off of there for just a moment. And this is what we've got as far as an arrival time to the stadium. And you can see the time on the screen. Look at how close that is. It's going to be within an hour maybe of the end of the game. So normally it takes folks, and if it's a close game, if it goes overtime, I think we have it. But unless this game goes into extra quarters, it might not make it back through. But it is going to be so close. I think the fourth quarter is the one that we'll have to be watching for that. Erie, PA tomorrow, Don. You're going to get hammered. No problem, Brenda. About you could get 6 to 10 inches in Erie, PA tomorrow. Niagara County hardly ever gets any of the high accumulations. Yeah, that's right. It's called Niagara County. The snow desert up there, Lewiston, gets the least. So if you want more snow, come on down to Lancaster and visit Jackie. That's where the snow has been. I just saw a number in here, and I think I missed it. David said, you going to the game? I've got a ticket. There's a seat with my name on it. The question is, what time am I going to make it over there? West Seneca weather, thank you so much. We share information there. And West Seneca, they said they're up to 12 inches now. That makes sense because let me rewind to where this thing is right now. And that's the image that it has. So it's coming through West Seneca. Again, this was the view at the stadium, and this is how they're handling it. I don't know how you're handling the snow in your backyard, but when you've got to clear a path for 70,000 Bills strong, this is how you do it. Highmark Stadium covered in snow. So if you're coming from an area that has green grass, in the deeper south towns like Springville, Collins, Colden, you're going to roll into this. They've been trying to clear it out all day. And that poor Ralph Wilson statue, somebody better bring him a parka. This is how close it's been. I mean, that edge of the snow, you can see on the stadium, the field house is right in the center of the screen. Let me pause it there. And just on the other side of that is where we're finding that wall of snow where it changes. And we'll just get another check on downtown. Boy, downtown took a turn for the worst. Let me fill this up. Look at that snow. That really picked up. And Niagara Street is still wet, not white. Charlotte is not going to get anything, but tomorrow is going to get hit pretty hard. I'm trying to catch up to all the comments in here. Did we do this one? What's it going to be like tomorrow in North-South Cheektowaga? A piece of cake. Nothing. You're good, Deb. Sunday is no problem. And there's Cheryl. There's a Christmas storm. I'm going to pop back on the screen for a moment. Believe it or not, once we get through this and hopefully get a W tonight, there's a storm coming late next week that's going to begin with a little rain, switch over to snow, some lake effect right in time for Christmas, and then the deep freeze. That's something else. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate for the share. By the way, if everybody doesn't know, we're trying to get a bunch of shares. We'll answer all the questions that you want. All we ask in return is that you hit that share button and the like button. That is a huge help for us. Throw it on right now. There's 150 people watching right now. Let's go ahead and throw that number up over 300 if everybody does it. I know I asked for it a bunch of times, but that's all I'll ever ask for you. I'll take all the questions that you want. What about a trip to Hamilton, Ontario for the Bandits game? Nancy, give me a time and a day. I don't know the Bandits schedule in Hamilton. So if you tell me the date and time, happy to do it. Angola update. Let's go ahead and show you what's going on. Angola looks pretty good right now. You can see that snow band out over the lake, but that's where it's going to reside for a while. You'll get hit by that snow as it kind of hits the shoreline a little bit. But Angola, I don't think you're going to have any problems until we get to tonight and tomorrow. So there it is, going through Angola, Edens and Evans, and then watch tomorrow. This comes back up, and boy, is it going to be vigorous. In the afternoon, anywhere south of Blaisdell and Orchard Park, I think you're going to have some pretty good snows right into the afternoon hours there. And I think you're going to kind of fill up your driveways in Hamburg, Eden, Angola, Collins, Evans, all of that. By the way, Sandra, I appreciate that. If you guys want a text update, so you're watching me on whatever screen you want, if you text 503-ANDY and text the word weather to it, you're going to get a text right back. It goes right to this phone right here, 503-ANDY, and if you don't know, it's 503 503-2639. So 503-2639, you can put a meteorologist on speed dial. 8 inches off of Jewett Homewood. 100% agree with you, because take a look at this. This is not far from that location. I'm going to pause this and I'm going to bring the video back, and there's the proof. That's what we had. That's the view that was in Orchard Park this morning. So we're between 6 and 8 inches is the number. Let me play. I'll just play this. And this was the number when a lot of folks woke up. Since then, you've added nothing to it, Corey. We've been okay. When will it stop in downtown? I think it's going to stay going in downtown just like it is right through the evening hours, bouncing to the north at 8, and then finally out of there a little bit later. So that's one of those Southtown views this morning. That's what it woke up. It should be colder on the Miami sidelines, John. From what I understand is if the Bills don't use their heated benches, then the Dolphins can't use theirs either. So let's go with that. This is the drone footage that was taken there. You can see the field house position right out in the middle there. How close was the snow band? Just a stiff arm away. There it is. And we're looking at 31 degrees, winds at 11, 2 to 3 inches of snow, another 0.95 inches. You got it. Thank you, Deborah. Appreciate that. That is super exact. Will Hamburg be getting buried again? Not tonight. I should say not this evening. Hamburg will get hit again, but it's going to take until tomorrow. Game is at 7. Thank you very much, Nancy. I forgot. Geez, I gotta adjust my arrival time now. It's not an 8 o'clock game. It's a 7 o'clock game. So that should take the end of the game out of the mix. That's a huge thing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Where are we at in here? Trying to grab another question here for how's Northern Cheektowaga later this afternoon? Northern Cheektowaga is going to look pretty much like this. That's the live picture in downtown Buffalo. That's also going to be the case pretty much right inland. And you can see as I bring this back on the screen, let's go into Buffalo. And this is going to be the core. That's the type of weather you're getting right there, those darker blues. And as I grab the screen and bring it out to Cheektowaga, it looks like south of the Thruway is a little bit lighter than areas to the north. But the snow is going lightly all the way up across the 290 into the Tonawondas, and that's what we're finding right now. Back to your questions here. Briar Hill, thank you very much. Yeah, that's pretty close to what we've got there. Glenn says, Eden, tomorrow morning, Glenn. Let's find you Eden tomorrow morning. So what I've got to do is drop this map down just a little bit. We're going to pull Eden front and center. I think we're on the screen right there. I'm going to give a little bit more. Let's bring you right in the middle. And now watch what happens for you here. You watch the clock, and there you go, 7 o'clock tonight. And then we're into early morning hours, the pre-dawn hours. Let's take you from breakfast to lunch in Eden. So you're going to find deteriorating conditions. It might not be early on, but you're going to have fresh snow on the ground. Expect that it will be snowing in Eden tomorrow. It's a pretty safe bet to do that. All right, hey, one more time. I'm going to take a drink. You guys hit the share and the like buttons. If you just came into the room, great to have you along. Pop the questions in. We're taking all your questions as rapid fire as we can. There we go. All right, we're going to continue down the list here. And it says the Bandits are in Hamilton. Oh, tonight. So the game is at 8 o'clock tonight. You scared me there for a moment. The Bills game was at 8. The Bandits are in 7 o'clock tonight. So let's go to Hamilton. We haven't talked about Canada at all, but we love our Canadian watchers. They're over there all the time asking about Stevenson, Ontario, and Fort Erie. Fort Erie's kind of in the same boat. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put this full, and then I'm going to swing the camera over, and we'll give you a look at Fort Erie. So let's bring this out a little bit more. And in Hamilton. So there's Hamilton, and as you cross the border, if you cross the Peace Bridge, it's going to be kind of an ugly go. But I think if you take any of the northern bridges, you're in great shape. There's no problems there at all. And I said we were going to take a look at the Canadian shoreline. So this is downtown Buffalo. That's the live picture. Look at those flakes going by. They're huge. Does anybody else have these huge flakes flying by their house? So we're going to swing the camera over and get a look. Now, normally you'd see the Peace Bridge right out there, but that's not the case. We're looking up a little bit more North Buffalo, and if we look down, this is like a little snow globe village in here, right in downtown Buffalo, and some of the side streets are definitely snow-covered, sloppy. Niagara has a center median with a little bit of snow on it, but overall, it's very passable. Crews have done a great job, but we do have those the reduced visibilities within here. So you can see those big fat flakes flying across the screen. Happy to do that. How fun is that camera? I love that camera in the city. And so that's what we're finding. It's in Depew and Lancaster right now. Yes, it is. You can see that's the Doppler on the screen. There's more of that snow out over the lake. Will northern Erie and Niagara County get any more accumulation? Yes, they will. Niagara County, if you're going to see more of this, watch. Here we go. There it is, from around 8 to 10, and then that's it. And I mean, it's a glancing blow. You guys are not going to get beat up there, and then it slides by. If you're in here to find out about the timing of the arrival of this for the game, I'm going to do that specifically right now. If you have plans to leave your house and try to get out to the stadium is right in that spot there. Justin, let me pull you out here. I'm gonna move you out of the way. And we've got a bunch of more questions. So this is the stadium, just to orient you, that little triangle right there. This is how close it is right now. It's been lightly snowing on and off. We're going to continue to see that wobble between Buffalo, Blaisdell, and Orchard Park. And then here's the arrival. And again, I'm going to slide Warsaw off the screen. And this is how close that band gets to the stadium and the timing of it. So it's, if anything, it could be back in at the fourth quarter and then for the ride home. So that's the timing of it. It is literally a meteorological razor's edge how close that's going to be. Richard has a party in Tonawanda. What about the travel tonight? You didn't give me a time, Richard, so I'm just going to make one up. Let's say your party starts at 7 o'clock in the Tonawandas. So here you go. Tonawandas will likely get a shot of snow. You can see the time on your screen at 5:30. You're going to get some snow just south of you where it is now, and then it's going to drift a little bit further to the north, and I'm going to stop the clock, try to around 7 o'clock. There it is. So somewhere in that 7 to 9 window, it's probably going to bounce up, hit Tonawanda briefly, and then back down. But it's not there long enough to do any problems. Lancaster should be good tomorrow, Danielle. You're going to be south of the action, I think. How's it driving from the north towns towards the stadium on the 90 and the 219? Well, you're going to run through stuff like this. This is going to be the view that you end up with on some of these roads. As a matter of fact, let's go back. That's the beginning. That's what some of the highways look like currently as you're on them within these snow bands. So if I pull you out of there, Natalie, allow yourself extra time. You're going to find slush-covered roads. I can't tell you how many cars I saw, probably 5, in the ditch on the 219. Don't go over speed. Keep it slow. Make sure you get to the stadium. It's common sense, but everybody takes it too fast. That's just how it goes. North Buffalo is clear, no snow falling right there, so it's just in downtown. That's how narrow this is. Bill's Mafia like and share. Thank you, Corey. Appreciate that. Any likes and shares are very welcome. No problem, Barbara. Thank you. Appreciate it. Great to have you along. No snow at the stadium till the fourth quarter. That's the way it's looking. I don't think we're going to get our snow game, because when you think about where the stadium is on this map and how we're watching the Doppler unfold this afternoon, I think it's going to be there pretty close. It'll be very near the stadium for the pregame, and then there's a jog to the north. I'm going to kind of go back and forth. You can see right in there how it goes north and then back to the south. And there's a lot of consensus that there's going to be a little bit of a jog. Ellicottville, tomorrow you get pasted, Cheryl. That is going to be a great snow day down there in Ellicottville tomorrow. Where's Robin? I know I saw along earlier. I said it was pretty snowblowed twice already in Lancaster. It's not so pretty. There you go. That's I'm sorry. It said, do I need the sidewalk done or go out again soon? I think what you're going to do is probably have to hit that driveway again. And by the last flakes will fall in Lancaster. I can put it on the screen here when this kind of goes back through right there. So in the late evening hours, you'll get one more shot, but not as much. Where are we going in here? All right, he's shared that with someone. Appreciate that. Doesn't seem like much going on in Tonawanda. Storm hyped. It was never going to be a big storm for the Tonawandas. I know there's a ton of hype, man. You do not. This is one guy that knows there was too much hype on this storm. If you take the football game out of this weekend, this storm doesn't get the hype. the national media, the narrative that you've got the Miami Dolphins who beat up the Bills in the sun and in the heat, and now they come up here into the snow and the cold. It's that juxtaposition that just screams for the narrative. You've got the Weather Channel in town, the eyes of the NFL and the nation on this primetime game played under the lights in Orchard Park, where there's been the history of some Lake Effect games. Everybody kind of had this, well, could the Lake Effect band hit the stadium? It looks like it's going to be a stiff arm away, just so close, but it doesn't look like we're going to end up with that quintessential snow game where you've got 8 inches of snow on the field and the guys can't run. Frankly, listening to some of the players talk about it, they just are not. They don't want that. That's what they're saying. Hey, John is in the house. Akron Falls just now. I would love that. As a matter of fact, John, if anybody wants to follow John Kutchko, this guy, I thought I knew a lot of great locations in Western New York, secret locations where you can go find the great weather spots. Check out his page, search him up on Facebook, put your link in the comments there, John, so people can find you. Fantastic stuff. He's done these 60 seconds of serenity, and they're awesome. We should definitely hook up, do a little live thing here sometime. Would love to do that with you. Sharon says, what about Gettsville around 6 p.m.? This is what we're talking about in Gettsville. Sharon, just for you and anybody else who has questions, pop them in. We're answering your questions right now, taking anything that you have, whether you want to find out about the game on Saturday or Sunday, what the weather is going to be like. We are happy to do that for you. So Gettsville at 6 p.m. First, let's get the clock to 6 p.m., and then we're going to talk about Gettsville. So there we go. We've got the clock at 6 p.m. We're going to slide in here. I'm going to take myself off the screen, get it full so everybody can see it, kick it into Buffalo, and pull it up, and you'll be able to see what you've got. So there it is. I think you're going to end up with this snow shower activity continuing. So the lake snows will be kind of meandering in here. It's not an intense band. As a matter of fact, it may weaken a little bit and then shift slightly to the north of you, and that's where we'll see it move up to Niagara County just one last time. Northern Cheektowaga, how much more? A few more inches. I think if you're in that 2 to 4 inch range, then you'll call it done. No problem at all. Someone jumping in late. Hey, Tammy, happy to do it for. Oh, it's Tammy. How are you, Tammy? North Collins, by all means. If there's someone that we would happily give you a forecast, Tammy, we will do that. All right, let's go down to North Collins. I'm going to bounce to the South Towns. That'll bring you in. And right now, you've got nothing. What time did you ask me for? There it is. North Collins, you're not going to see anything this afternoon in evening hours. We're actually turning the scale to evening. It's almost 3 o'clock. There's the clock, 4 o'clock. See how it's all up north, Blaisdell? Absolutely nothing in North Collins. But Tammy, watch what happens during the course of the day on Sunday. Your weather changes dramatically. I don't know if you have green grass down there in Collins, Concord, and Springville, but watch in the morning hours. You're going to get this lake snow band that comes in overnight, puts a little bit down, and then watch it blow up during the afternoon hours on Sunday. That's when you're going to get your snow. You're going to get more vigorous winds on Sunday. It'll come up to the stadium again. So the stadium will get a shot. Hamburg, Evans, Eden, Gowanda, Arcade, Holland, all the way out to Warsaw, picking up the snow. And then, in addition to that, it's going to end up all the way down into the southern tier. So Chautauqua County gets beat up on Sunday as well. Driving the 90 on Sunday is going to be that's a no joke commute. The 90 that is going to be a lot worse than the 219. But as we roll this back out, the start time on this, North Towns, you're done. But then, wow, the South Towns and Southern Tier will get hit again tomorrow. And that one could leave up to a foot behind, especially in the shoreline communities. I want to check on downtown Buffalo. We've been watching that camera as the snow evolves in the city. And there it is again, those big flakes trying to stick to the roads, but they are well salted. This was a well forecast storm. Everybody knew it was coming. And so this is not a surprise to anybody. What's the stadium drive going to be like tonight? Coming home, Peter, is going to be super tricky because, man, that is going to be a mess. I think the Lake Snow Band will be approaching the stadium. Folks that are, and you never get out. Let's be honest. when you're leaving the stadium, let's say the game ends 10:30, 11 o'clock. By the time you get to your car, you're in the car, you know it's an hour, unless you have one of those great spots where you can jet out onto Abbott Road. An hour after the game sets the stage for the collision of this lake snow band. Anybody heading north is going to run into this thing on the way home. How long will the snow in Evans last tomorrow, and how much? Evans plan on at least 8 to 12 inches of snow. It's going to start in the morning and continue into the afternoon. I knew John has a lot of fans in here as well. Thanks so much. I appreciate him stopping by and putting a comment on. Joanne in South Buffalo, she says, what about South Buffalo? She's just saying hello. You've got your snow. You're getting a little bit more, and there's more on the radar screen coming in. I don't know if South Buffalo looks like this, but this is Orchard Park. And this is the snow total. As a matter of fact, let me go back. I think is going to come front and center and stop. 7 inches of snow. That was a solid hit as we began the day. Where are we in here? Let's see. Where are we going? Not much. What do we got? Not much in Kennedy and Chautauqua County. As a matter of fact, yeah, nothing down there, Joe. But it's going to be coming down there tomorrow. That's going to get you. Yeah, no, you will not miss it. Sunday is yours, Tammy. We talked about that. Let's pull this back out, give you something to look at on the screen. How are they handling it out at the stadium? A lot of people just hopped onto the stream. This is what awaits you out in Orchard Park, a snow-covered statue of Ralph Wilson. And then this is how they're getting rid of that snow. And I'm going to tell you this, it's good packing snow, people. So you know that when you get to your seats, you're going to end up with like that much snow on your seats. And you're going to have 70,000 fans. I know you're going to want to throw some snowballs. Resist. Let's be better, Western New York. Let's not hit the Dolphins with snowballs. That would kind of lead, I think that would end up with a black eye. And this is where, look at the snow band. This is drone footage that gets you front and center. Now, I'm going to pause it right in here, and you're going to see there's the snow band, and then you can see the field house jumps out. So this is taken about 200 feet above the ground, the field house there, and just beyond that, over by, it looks like maybe Mile Strip is the cutoff, and there you can see that big wall of gray. I'll do this one more time for you as we bring it here. We're going to get to Mayville in a moment, Catherine. I know they put the sign up for snow in Mayville. Look at that thing. That's those dark skies, and inside those dark skies, you're seeing views like this. And then that is the downtown Buffalo. This is what it looks like trying to drive around in a lot of that. It is difficult, especially on, this is the off-ramp over to Ridge Road. West Seneca is anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of snow, and that's going to be a messy ride tonight. I think getting through West Seneca and South Buffalo and Lancaster is going to be your trickiest drive to get into the game. Thank you, Rich. Yeah, show some class. You know what? That'd be fun. Mayville is going to get crushed tomorrow. So let's go ahead and widen this out. We're going to go to the southern tier. I know I spent some time there. We're going to do it again for Catherine because that's what she's asking about. So Mayville's on the screen. Here it comes in as we get into the early morning hours, and then there you go. So it's really maybe the late morning into the early afternoon, and then Mayville, you're going to be right under those snow guns for the duration of Sunday. So you can expect to do some shoveling there. Let's go back up north and kind of give you a slightly different view. We're keeping this moving. You guys are directing how this goes, and we'll answer any of the questions you want. So WD-40 on the auger, absolutely. That's what you've got to do. This will clog up your snow blowers, and that's a great tip. No problem, Catherine. Happy to do it. Richard, always appreciative of the comments there. Want to let everybody know that all you've got to do is pop your comments in. We're taking your questions, knocking them down one by one. If you're in here to find out about what's going on at the stadium, how things are going to be right now as we roll this through, watch the clock on the screen. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Let me see if I can get it moving there. There it is, 3, 4, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, see where it is, sitting right over Buffalo. There's a little jog that will just push it just to the north, and that takes it and moves it up around Grand Island, maybe the Tonawandas. That happens during the game, and then it sinks south, and it sweeps very quickly, but it looks like it might coincide with the either the end of the game or the drive home. but it doesn't appear that this is going to be like right through the center of the stadium at halftime. That's at least that's the picture that we're seeing right now. That's what the data is pushing out. Bill wants to know how much for Cheektowaga tonight. Now, let's talk about tonight. So if we say from 7 o'clock on in Cheektowaga, I don't think you're going to see that much. I think Cheektowaga, you could throw another 2 to 4 inches on it, and that would probably cover you in that situation. So, hey, everybody who's in here, just we need, what are we, about 29 likes away from 300. Let's push this over 300. Hit the like button. Everybody take a half millisecond out of their life to click that. And do the share as well. If everybody could hit the share button on this, it would be much appreciated. I'm going to take a quick drink while you guys do that. And then we'll take whoever wants to be the first question in. Arlene in Lancaster. Let's go and talk about Lancaster. You're getting hit in Lancaster, so why not address the elephant in the room? It's not going away. You're going to continue to get hit out there. So let me pull this up, and we'll bring kind of you guys right into the center of our conversation. So there's West Seneca, and a lot of people maybe confuse you at times with West Seneca, Lancaster, but you are not. So we're going to do that. You will kind of end up bordering Depew, and let me bring this over. It's probably a little too close to read all those numbers, but so we'll widen it out just a touch. There you go. You can see the thruway. Depew, Cheektowaga will answer a bunch of people's questions. Let me bring this full, get me out of there. Arlene, I'm going to take you off the screen just for a moment there. And here we go. So let's go to where it is now. And then the timing on this, here, there it goes. From around 8 o'clock until 10, it goes away. Then you get one push as that snow band comes through right around between maybe 11 and midnight, and then you're done. And then it's south of Lancaster. So hopefully that answered the question. Watching from Alexander, New York, just light snow in Alexander. Thank you very much, Christine. Appreciate that. What do we got? How does Angola and Derby look later tonight? All right, Fallon, no problem. Let's do it for you. So we're going to go over here. We're going to grab the Southtown view. And I think you said Angola and Derby, I think, was the other one. So we're going to bring this over, and the first thing I can do is rewind the clock. We're going to get it back to where it is now. You can probably look out and see those ugly clouds. It goes away from the shoreline, weakens, and then in the late evening and overnight, it goes back through, and there you can see Sturgeon Point getting hit. That's in the overnight hours. It goes to the south and then wobbles around. Tomorrow morning, you're not done. Eden, Angola, Lake Erie Beach, those are the areas I think that are going to end up in excess of a foot. You'll get whatever you have now, tack on 12 inches to it, and that's your storm total. That's the easiest way to do it. Melanie wants to know, where did Melanie? Well, there it is. What's the drive going to be like from the stadium to Cheektowaga? Not very nice. I think getting out of there, now keep in mind, it's not going to be snowing hard at the stadium. This is the view at the stadium from earlier today. They're getting the snow out. They're plowing the parking lots with the big trucks. You're going to find the snow piles there. You're not going to be buried alive while you're at the game, because this is where the snow is going to be. It's going to be away from the stadium. Let me bring that in. Stadium is here. You're going to find that when everybody's in there yelling and screaming, that snow band jogs to the north. Then it's going to come right back and could end up there in the fourth quarter or beyond. In the drive home, if you're going north, I think you're going to have the worst situation there. All right, we've got a report of the roads here. Lancaster and all that. Wow, we've heard nothing but bad things about Lancaster. Now, it was bad in West Seneca this morning. When I say bad, I mean like when you can't go up a hill because your tires are spinning. It was a sloppy snow. That's what we're looking at in Depew, Alina. And I think you're again in that 2 to 4 inch range to kind of finish this storm out for you there as well. Collins, I think we touched on that, but we'll do it again. Happy to do it, Crystal. We're going to bring you down here because tomorrow you are not going to hear Buffalo, Batavia, northward. Here's where it is now. You've got no problems down there right through the early overnight, and then that band comes through. It'll leave a little bit behind, and it really starting tomorrow morning, blossoming into the afternoon, that's your snow day in Collins. So that's what you've got down there. Sue says, let's go to another sea town. We're going to go to Clarence in the northern sections. Let's roll you up there right now and go from the south towns to the north towns. You are not going to have snow on Sunday. It is going to stay well to the south. Let's re-rack this. What's going to happen? You've got the snow coming down. And there you can see it continuing for Clarence into the 7, 8, 9 o'clock hour. It'll lift and weaken a little bit in that maybe 8 to 10 as it bounces, and then it comes right back, and then you're done. So hopefully that answered your question. You're probably in that 2 to 4 inch range there as well. Paul wants to know how much more tonight for Williamsville, Sheridan, Harlem. You're probably in that 2 to 4 inch range as we see, depending on if the further north you are, you're at the low end of the spectrum. The further south you are towards that location, I would say south of Sheridan, you get towards the heavier numbers. North of Sheridan, it's really going to lighten up so quick. Erie, PA, get a foot. Yes. You're in like that 8 to 12 inch number, not tonight, but by the time this is done on Sunday night, I think you'll be sitting on a foot of snow down there, no problem. Barker to Cuba tomorrow. You didn't give me a time, Sharon, but we're happy to do it. So in order to tell that story, Sharon, to go from Barker, if people don't know, Barker's way up at the top of the screen, and then Cuba is further down here. So if she's making that drive, she didn't say what time, but let's bring it into the morning hours, give her an idea of what's going on. Here's your early morning hours. And right now, Barker is no problem. You won't even run into any snow until you hit maybe late morning. And I'm going to say that 20A is going to be the delineator. As soon as you get to 20A, whichever way that you head down there, once you get there, you're probably going to continue to see that snow depending upon your arrival time. The later in the day, the more snow Cuba will have. If you go a little earlier, it probably won't be intense. Can I get to Shays tomorrow? Yes. There's no reason that you wouldn't be able to get to Shays tomorrow in Buffalo. Should be a piece of cake. There we go. The best Christmas present. Oh, thank you so much, Arlene. Thank you. Appreciate it. Is Irving getting any of this? Yes. Irving is going to get hit tomorrow 100%. I believe you can see Irving on the map. If not, I'm going to move you out of the way, Colleen, and bring this right in there. Perfect. And now what we're going to do is I'm even going to zero in just a little bit more, and then we're going to see right in there. So here's that snow band as it drops down 9, 10, 11, 12 overnight, and then tomorrow it just blows up right on top of you. So yeah, you're going to get hit pretty hard there. Boston area to Shays tomorrow, a piece of cake. I should actually hold up. Tomorrow in Boston, let's bring this back. Before I thought you said Shays. Shays in Buffalo is not a problem. Tomorrow to get out of Boston, there's going to be snow in the South Towns. So you're going to end up with some lake effect in the late morning into the early afternoon. And then depending upon your departure time, if you're departing to go to Shays for an evening show, you'll be fine. If it's a matinee, I think you're going to bump into, you're going to end up bumping into some of that snow on your departure. Great job. Thank you so much, Artie. That means a lot. It really does. We're kind of knocking out as many questions as we can. There's a ton of people with hearing information, not sure about it. Your app on your phone isn't doing what you want. So we're happy to kind of fill that gap for everybody today. NT to Batavia tomorrow, 9 a.m., a piece of cake. Deanna, you are good to go. Travel freely in the North Towns tomorrow. Joe just got in here. He joined the chat. He's from Atlanta. He would love a Bills forecast for the game. I haven't shown it yet. Hold up there, Joe. Give me a moment. Wait for it. Wait for it, and there you go. You asked for it, Joe. We got it. Now, where the snow showers in there, it's not a whole heart. It's so close that we can't say that there's not any snow for the pregame, the tailgaters, because that snow band, Joe, if you're just hopping in, this is the drone footage to let you know how close it is. I'm going to do this. You're going to be able to see it. As you pan across, there's that edge, that wall of snow. See that white building in the center of the screen? That is the field house. So this lake band is so close, all it would take is a little wobble, and it'll bring it right in there. So I think the pregame, but during the game, it looks like, Joe, that is going to go to the north. And but the one thing that won't change is the cold. That 28 is going to feel like it's in the teens. Winds out of the southwest at 15. Not huge, No wind like we had for the New England game. But man, what a snowy seat you're going to have. No problem, Don. I appreciate you stopping by. That's awesome. Happy to hear everybody's doing good and getting through this. Where do we have in here? Don't leave until 4:30. There you go. Excellent. So the later, the better. Robin, we love you dipping in on the lives here. Headed out to Snowblow in Lancaster for the third time. Well, when you come in, give us a snow report and a picture. We want to see. Somebody send me a picture of Lancaster. Lancaster is they're getting just absolutely clobbered. Here it is in downtown, and now Niagara Street looks like it's covered up again. Visibility is down. You can't even see the 190. So you're going to end up with its views like where to go. It's going to be views like where to. This is your driving conditions in and around where that band is. If you're in the center of that band, you're getting roads that get sloppy and slushy, and then you're going to end up sliding a little bit. A lot of folks had trouble slowing down, even on a slow grade here. This is Ridge Road, and you just saw people trying the anti-lock brakes are tightening up, and it was just very tough to navigate around Western New York in a lot of locations today. And again, that's what's coming down right now. This is a live picture in the city. And that's the situation. Let's look down here. It says, what would it say? When will the snow stop at this tomorrow at the stadium? Let's go back to this. I think a lot of people just popped in, and what we're doing is putting a timing and amounts on the snow. And so the timing is what we're going to do first. I'm going to bring this full, and as we do and answer this for Kellyanne, she wants to know when the snow will stop tomorrow at the stadium. So I'm going to answer the question tonight. All I ask is that you guys hit that like button. We probably have another 50 people that just walked into the stream. Hit the like and share. I'm going to take a quick drink out of the cup, and then we're going to answer the question about the timing for everybody and give you an idea of what's coming to the stadium. All I ask is that while I take a drink, like and share. All right, and we're on. Here's how it goes. Watching what's going to happen as we go to the stadium tonight. This is where that Lake Snow Band is going to wobble. It is right on the doorstep of the stadium. Let me see if I can bring in a better view for you here. As we tip it down, and this is kind of the 3D view, and then we can go in a little closer, and the stadium will bring that in. This will give you a better idea because the snow band is going to be so close to the stadium. Now, the stadium is going to be located right in that triangle, right in there. And the snow band for this, I'm going to bring this back just a touch so that we can watch how this goes. That's how close. I'm going to bring it full so that you guys can all see it. And then here's how this is going to go. So that's where it is now. That's how close it is to the stadium. And I mean, it is right on the doorstep. And it's going to stay right there. So downtown Buffalo, Cheektowaga, Lancaster, Clarence, you're all getting hit through around 7 or 8 o'clock. Then it goes up to the north, and then here it comes. Look at the arrival time. Look how close that's going to be. This game goes, let's say the game goes to 11 o'clock. It's within an hour of that coming back through. And realistically, is there a little bit of fudge time in that hour? Yeah, meteorologically, if the wind pushes this just a little quicker, it could end up here at the fourth quarter towards the end of the game. But that's the way it looks right now. Dunkirk, Brandy, you're going to get smashed in Dunkirk tomorrow. Here's why. Because we've got this lake snow band that's going to develop tonight and then slide down over Dunkirk. So there you can see Dunkirk is on the screen. I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to move you out of the way. I'm going to get out of the way as well, bring this full so you can see what happens to Dunkirk. And here it is. It comes down there overnight tonight, and then you're going to start seeing snow through the overnight. You're going to wake up to a decent amount of snow, and then boom, you're over a foot on Sunday. And a lot of the southern tier is going to be in that same boat with a big mess down there. Ellie Mae says, we appreciate it. We love when you guys drop in here. When it heads back south from north, how long will it sit over West Seneca? Not long. It's moving fast. So once the snow shuts off in West Seneca around 8 o'clock, once it makes that jog to the north and then comes back to the south, it is not going to sit there long. Look at downtown Buffalo. It's fading away. That is it. Wow, what an interesting picture in the city. It's the intensity of the lake effect for downtown Buffalo has really picked up. And that's what we're going to find. That means that's the snow you're shoveling out in West Seneca, that as well. What do we have here? Yes, that it did work out good. Thank you very much. He's referring to the setup that we have here, the ability to give you guys a kind of let everybody have access to the tools that we have and take this one-on-one. If you have questions, we're answering them right now. Anytime that you want to text as well, you can do that. It's 503-ANDY. You'll see it scrolling at the bottom of the screen, 503-2639. You can put a meteorologist on speed dial. So if you don't trust the app, when it's 72 and sunny, you're not going to bother us. But when you get weather like this and you put a text in there and you want to know what's coming back, text weather. And if that doesn't do it for you, then you can text a question, and it'll be great. We need a big wobble at kickoff. Wouldn't that be something? It's a long shot, but it's still at the end of the game. Imagine that the Bills are up 10 points, and that snow band comes in the fourth quarter and just puts the capper on it. That would be such a snow party out there. It would be unbelievable. It'd be fun to watch. What's the best time to drive to Erie from Erie, PA to Buffalo tomorrow? Jeff, I don't even know what to tell you on that one. There really is not a great time. Today is the best time, because here's how this goes. Erie, PA, I'm going to bring it on the screen, and you'll understand why I say that. And I don't jest, because it's not going to be an easy trip. Is Erie on there yet? There it is. Erie to Buffalo. I've got the whole length of the lake on the screen just for you here. This lake band comes in overnight, and it's going to go and cover a good chunk of the thruway. I guess if you had to pick a time, you're driving through it no matter what. But if you go, you're going to make better time early in the morning. And if you wait till later, you're going to run into the snow. You'll drive through more snow. So I think maybe an early departure, but I've got to tell you, you're going to hit it one way or another on that trip. That rolling it through time, that is your Sunday. That is not a pretty drive. I personally wouldn't. That would not be a fun one that I'd want to make. Go Bills from active duty Marines in Japan. Are you kidding me? You guys are watching in Japan? That's fantastic. I love that. Just joined in. What about Lockport? Bella, happy to have you along. If other people are like Bella, who just hopped on the stream, this is live. We're taking your questions. She's asking one, so we're going to pop it up on the screen. I'm going to go back up to Lockport. So we're done with Erie. That's going to be a heck of a trip. I'm glad I don't have to make that one. And we're going to go up to Lockport. So here's the snow band. Let's bring it in and go in a little closer. I think, is it on the screen yet? Did Lockport? There it is. Lockport's a little bit over there. We'll bring it in. So here's how this works for you. I'm going to look at the upper left-hand side of the screen, Bella. You see the time. That's the current time. Buffalo getting hit. We know Lancaster's getting hit. They're in the house. And then as we roll this north, and you're going to see that Lockport has a chance for some snow. Not a lot of snow. Admittedly, it might not even make it all the way to the city of Lockport. I think if it gets there, the 290, the 990, Clarence and Rapids, and then after it does that, it pushes back to the south, and we all know the story there. Trying to get it in the stadium for the fourth quarter. I think right now the trend is a little bit later, but there's still a little bit of hope there. What do we got here? It says Bills Mafia. There we go. They're not going to sour our winning season. No way. It says again. Geez, yeah, again. Getting hit again. Hey, no problem. I appreciate it, Ashley. Thank you for popping in and posting something on the screen. He says he's right next to Ellicottville, and he has some concern for tomorrow. If the concern is that you like snow and you're hoping for a lot of it, then don't be concerned, because I think that's what's going to happen down there tomorrow. I'm going to bring Ellicottville. There's Springville on the screen, but let's go ahead and bring Ellicottville on. It's a slow push, long drive down there. There's Ellicottville, and here's how this works. I'm going to re-rack the time, and this is as we go from Saturday to Sunday, and there it is, wobbling around, and Ellicottville, you're going to get some snow in there during the afternoon, looks like the best chance, and then into the evening hours on Sunday. So the best chance for snow down there is second half of Sunday on into Monday. It's a pretty long event. Thank you, Bella. Appreciate you stopping by. And the like button, we're at 350 right now. We got 25 people in here that haven't hit the like and share button. Do that for me. Do it right now. I can watch the numbers hop up live. It'll take you 1 second. If you're watching on your phone, I don't know how easy it is to do on the mobile, on a computer. It's super easy. Let's push those numbers up. Give me a few seconds here while I take a drink. We'll keep going. All righty. Thank you very much. There they go. Numbers are flying. I think we're answering a lot of the questions, though. This is something that is great to do. If you've just popped in the screen, this is the drone view that we have. The field house is there in the distance. We've got a lot of video coming in of snow-covered roads, but you can see the landscape. This is up around 200 feet. Looking towards the snow band in the distance, and you can see how close it is to coming in contact with Highmark Stadium. This is how they're handling the snow at Highmark. They're hitting it pretty hard. They've got the Bobcats going. Poor Ralph is out there covered in snow. Someone should bring him a parka just in time for the game. And that's how they're managing that. I don't know how you're doing your driveways in Lancaster, but that's it. This was the view, 7 inches of snow as you start the day in Orchard Park. And this is what it looks like, a solid shot of snow for folks in the South Towns who woke up early in the morning, and they haven't really had much since. The sun has been out at times, but boy, did it cling to the trees, and the winds have picked up just a little bit in the last couple of hours. That forecast out at the stadium going like this. There'll be snow showers in the area, but it doesn't look like a direct hit on the stadium during the game time. If there's the best chance of that is going to be between about 5 and 7. So your tailgates and pregame have a shot at that, but that's about it. What do we have here? It says, Ryan Radigan, thank you for supporting your country and especially the Buffalo Bills. I second that. I appreciate that. That is nice of somebody to put that in the comments. Expected snow at the stadium at kickoff. Well, you're going to have this. This is what's at the stadium right now, and they're pushing it out of the way. Wear your boots, folks, because I don't think they're shoveling the stadium. I think along with your ticket, you get to shovel your own seat out. At least that's as I understand it. So as far as the snow at the stadium at kickoff, let me get back to where we can get a nice view of that. So let's go for the Southtown view. The stadium is there. It's too far away. I want to bring it in a little closer and then dive in just a touch more. All right. So the stadium is positioned on the screen. We'll put the cursor right in there. Actually, this cursor. That's the stadium right in that spot right there, that triangle. So I'm going to re-rack this. That's where the snow is right now. Look how close it is. That drone footage attests to how close that wall is. You're going to have some of this bump into the stadium up until almost game time. And then there's a jog in this, and it goes just to the north. That jog moves up over Grand Island, the Tonawandas, and then the sweep back to the south. And I've got to tell you, it does not look good. If you were hoping for a snow game, this little jog is going to be the thing that kills the snow game. But I think if it doesn't take as big of a jog, this is still a meteorological animal that is kind of, there's no cage on this thing. If it decides that it doesn't want to do that, if the wind shift changes just a little bit, we're only hours away right now. We're 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30. It's going to be a very close call, but right now it appears that the stadium will not have a snow globe the stadium will not be inundated with heavy lake effect snow. And that's what it looks like until maybe the fourth quarter. Hey, Mark is watching from Germany tonight. He's on YouTube. That's fantastic. That's awesome. Happy to hear that. And you'll be watching out there in Germany. Go Bills. You know it. The Bills Nation has no borders. That is awesome. Deanna says it's very cool. No problem. Happy to do it for you. So again, stadium at kickoff, snow on the ground, not that much in the air, but it doesn't look like a direct hit for the stadium. And that's kind of how we're working that. Let's go back to the drone footage here. The travel in, that's where the snow band is. That's what it looks like from the outside looking in. A lot of people in the North Towns have that view. If you happen to be inside this snow band over the city of Buffalo, we were watching that camera in the city. And then, again, this is the travel. So as you're thinking about driving in, you're going to end up on roads like this. As a matter of fact, the thruway is one of the trickiest ones, and it's the slush that's in between that's a real problem for folks. I mean, It is not fun. Boy, we just got another picture here that the snow is right on the edge of the stadium as we speak. So that's how close it is. It's going to be a super close call, but a tough travel. All right, I think what we're going to do is kind of wrap this up. We've answered all of the questions that we can, and I'm going to bring this back. So again, the snow ban as it stands right now, it's going to stay for Buffalo right on into some of the immediate burbs as we bring this over. We don't need to see the lake, but you can see it goes all the way along the thruway. It's going to stay where it is until around 6, 7 o'clock, jog to the north, then back to the south, and we'll see if it arrives at the stadium for the fourth quarter or if we end up with a snow-free game. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I appreciate it. Hit the like and share button on the way out, and that's all we ask. Thank you so much, and go Bills.